What is up, Janksters? It's your boy Graham, also known as HamHawks42 on the internet, and today we are looking at a really fun deck. This is Sultai Ninjas. That's right, ninjas, but we also have green in the mix. Now, Dimir is usually the location for ninjas. I mean, if you remember back to Betrayers of Kamigawa, all the ninjas were either black or blue. But with Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, we have all kinds of ninjas in, well, all the different colors. And green is actually very well represented in when it comes to ninjas, especially with the Spring-Leaf Avenger. This is a 6/5 insect ninja for 5, or ninjutsus for 4. And then whenever Spring-Leaf Avenger deals combat damage to a player, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. So this card is absolutely fantastic, and our biggest creature and our kind of curve topper, if you will, in this deck. The goal is to attack with small creatures, use the ninjutsu ability of creatures in our hand to put them onto the battlefield tapped and attacking unblocked. And so here we have a situation where, for example, an Eyetwitch that is a 1/1 flying creature, we can attack with it. We go past the declare blocker's phase. They choose not to attack. We spend 4 mana. All of a sudden, it's a 6/5 that effectively draws us a card out of our graveyard. Awesome. Absolutely fantastic stuff. This card is amazing, and I love ninjas. I absolutely love ninjas. As far as other ninja payoffs go, we also have the Biting Palm Ninja. This is a 3/3 with ninjutsu for 3, or you can just cast it for 3, which is really nice if you just need a body on board as a blocker or something like that, which is just nice. And it enters the battlefield with a menace counter on it. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may remove a menace counter from it. When you do, that player reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it, exile that card. It's Agonizing Remorse on a ninja. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so Biting Palm Ninja is very, very potent, especially against control decks. Being able to strategically and surgically remove cards out of their hand, very important. Love it. Absolutely love it. As far as other ninjas go, we have the Dokuchi Silencer, or Dokuchi Silencer. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. In any event, the Silencer here is a 2/1 for 2. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may discard a creature card. When you do, destroy target creature or planeswalker that player controls. Fun fact, when you're doing the ninjutsu shenanigans, you will always have a creature card in hand because you have to pick a creature up off of the battlefield into your hand. So the Silencer, so again, if we go back to Eyetwitch, for example, we attack with the Eyetwitch, they choose not to block, or they cannot block because it has flying. We ninja it back into our hand. The Silencer strikes them. We discard the Eyetwitch. Boom, blow up their biggest threat on the board. Really cool stuff. I love this card. And fun fact, if we discard the Eyetwitch or any of one of our other creatures, and we have the Spring-Leaf Avenger on the field dealing combat damage, we can then pull that card from the graveyard back to our hand. So we can do some really cool things with that. Absolutely love it. Other creatures that we have in here, we also have the Silver Fur Master. This is another great ninja. It gives all other ninjas +1/+1, and ninjutsu activated abilities cost 1 less to activate. If we go turn 1 Eyetwitch or Lantern Bearer or Thousand Face Shadow, which are our primary cheap ninja enablers, if we get one of these ninja enablers on the field, we can go turn 2 Silver Fur Master, we can just play it out, and then turn 3 we attack with one of these, and we can ninja in a Spring-Leaf Avenger. That's turn 3 unblocked 6/5. Boom, to the face. Love it. Very, very potent stuff. Very, very powerful. Absolutely adore it. So I mentioned we have Lantern Bearer and Thousand Face Shadow. Thousand Face Shadow is possibly the best ninja that Wizards has ever printed. This card is insane. If you're not already familiar, it is a 1/1 flyer for 1, so it's a small sheep creature that is a ninjutsu enabler, but it also has ninjutsu 4. When it enters the battlefield from your hand, if it's attacking, create a token that's a copy of another target attacking creature. The token enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. This can turn 6 damage into 12 damage very, very easily with our Spring-Leaf Avenger. So Thousand Face Shadow is a house. I've actually not... I have ninjutsu'd in a Thousand Face Shadow on top of a Thousand Face Shadow. Like, literally spent 4 mana to replace one with another one just to make an additional copy of a creature, and it's very potent stuff. Yeah, this card's excellent. Another great piece of secret tech here is the Lantern Bearer. This is a really cool card that came out with Crimson Vow. It is a common that usually is kind of a draft filler card. Like, it's not bad in a Spirits deck in Crimson Vow. Sure, fine, whatever. However, in ninjas, it's a 1/1 flyer for 1, which is exactly what we want. We want cheap, easy creatures to get in there and get some stuff done. We can also discard it to the Dokuchi Silencer and use the aura out of the graveyard to give the Silencer or another ninja that does not itself have evasion, give it flying. So this is a really cool card that's very, very versatile. And at the end of the day, it's a cheap evasive creature, which is exactly what we want. Evasive 1-drops are the name of the game when it comes to ninjas. We absolutely need them. Speaking of, we also have the Fang of Shigeki. This is a really great card in this deck for a couple of reasons. One, we've got 3 colors represented, and I want to make sure that we have a cheap drop of each color available to us. Blue is a little more heavily referenced, or it's more heavily represented at the 1-drop slot because of Thousand Face Shadow. However, Fang of Shigeki is really, really great because you can hold it back as a blocker to deal with a very, very large threat because it does have Death Touch. Also, when you attack with it, people generally don't want to block Death Touchers. So they have this question of like, okay, do you want to let this through and take 1 damage, or potentially have me ninja something into play, or do you want to block with it and sacrifice your blocker no matter how big it is? So that's a really cool thing. So Fang of Shigeki is very effective in this. Also, it is a ninja. So if we have the Silver Fur Master down buffing all of our ninjas, Fang of Shigeki does get buffed too, which is nice. One downside to the Fang of Shigeki, it is an enchantment creature, which means enchantment removal can get rid of it. So that's something to keep in mind. It is a little more fragile than some of our other 1-drops, which is saying something because 1-drops are pretty fragile to begin with. There's one other card I want to talk about. Well, 2 other cards I want to talk about. One is the Kappa Tech-Wrecker. You may note I call this deck Ninja Turtles. That's because the Kappa Tech-Wrecker and Silver Fur Master are very clearly Ninja Turtles references. And the Kappa Tech-Wrecker is a 1/3 for 2 with Ninjutsu for 2. That says when it enters the battlefield with a Death Touch counter on it. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may remove a Death Touch counter from it. When you do, exile target artifact or enchantment that player controls. So it's exile, artifact, and enchantment removal on a ninja. That's amazing. It also is a 1/3 Death Touching body for 2. That is also amazing. So this card is great. Absolutely love it. Kappa Tech-Wrecker is awesome. I only have 3 in the deck specifically because it shines in situations where the opponent has enchantments and artifacts to remove. That said, I do have one in the sideboard. You'll notice this is a best of 3 deck, so we do have a sideboard for it. And there is a 4th Kappa Tech-Wrecker in the sideboard ready to go, just in case. If we're going up against the enchantment deck, or if we're going up against an artifact heavy like a vehicle deck or something like that, having the Tech-Wreckers available is very, very key. The last card in the main deck that I wanted to talk about, we do have, so our mana base, we do have the channel lands, Boseiju and Otawara, because they're just basically a free roll. We also have the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, just in case we're going up against control decks, and we have an opportunity to activate this late in the game and attack with it, and potentially even ninja, because it is in fact evasive, which is nice. So in any event, so those are the lands, but we also have 1 planeswalker in Kaito Shizuki. Kaito here is a 3 loyalty planeswalker for 3, 1 blue-black. At the beginning of your end step, if it enters the battlefield, this turn he phases out, so that's really nice. He protects himself, which is great. +1, draw a card, then discard a card unless you attack this turn. That's basically +1, draw a card in this deck. We want to be attacking every single turn. It's just part of the deal. We want to be swinging. We want to be swinging constantly. We want to be swinging fast and often. -2, create a 1/1 blue ninja creature token with this creature can't be blocked. An unblockable 1/1 as the -2 is fantastic. That is it's a ninja by itself, so again, it gets all the ninja buffs. It also is completely unblockable, so it opens up free shots with some of our other ninjas. So it's absolutely fantastic in that regard. And then Kaito has an ultimate -7. You get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a blue or black creature, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. That is usually, if we are in a situation where we're able to execute on that, that is likely going to be a Biting Palm Ninja and or a Silver Fur Master pretty much every time. Because the Spring-Leaf Avenger is our big finisher. It is not blue or black. As a result, in some decks, you want to race to the Planeswalker Ultimate. In this situation, Kaito is really a card draw engine. The goal of having Kaito in here is that +1. That's the real fuel behind the deck, and it's the reason he's here. And the 1/1 ninja can be a bonus, but we're almost never going to hit the ult. In all reality, in a deck that leverages, actually, I suppose you could leverage Kaito in like a Reanimator style deck, because I always think Reanimator. I can't help it. I'm sorry. in reanimator style decks where you can use the +1 to draw and discard, so you can use it as a discard outlet, and the -7, if you were to reach it, could pull huge threats out of your library, which is kind of cool. But that's not what we're doing here today. So Kaito is a cool card. It's very useful, but it's a 2-of in this situation because it is actually fairly expensive for the deck. You'll notice that our mana curve is more of a mana slope. We have pretty much everything at like 1-drop is our primary space to be, with 2s and 3s being secondary, and 1 4-drop being our biggest creature here. So that's how it goes. As far as the sideboard goes, like I mentioned, we have 1 Kappa Tech-Wrecker. I do have a handful of lessons in environmental science, teaching of the Archaics, Containment Breach, Expanded Anatomy, Intro to Annihilation, and Mascot Exhibition, all available and all relevant at different points in the game, depending on what's going on and what our opponent is playing. And those are only fetchable from Eyetwitch. So if we keep Eyetwitch back to block, we'll be able to pull a benefit, pull something out of our sideboard, which is useful. Note, we do not have any sack outlets in this deck. That is not the primary point of this thing. So it is available. In all likelihood, we probably aren't going to be hitting it very often, but when we do, it's nice. We also have, to go up against the control matchup, we also have Duress, so we can hit our opponent's hand and throw it off early on. We also have Nashi Moon Sage's Scion, rather. We have 3 of these in the sideboard. Nashi is a phenomenal card. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of each player's library. Until end of turn, you may play one of those cards. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than its mana cost. If Bolus's Citadel was a ninja, it would be Nashi Moon Sage's Scion. It's a very cool design. It is a 3/2 for 3, and I have it in here with the thought being against assertive decks, so mid-range decks or aggro decks, it might actually be useful to be able to pull threats from our opponent's library and be able to immobilize them against our opponent. That's really my thought here, or be able to ramp decks, for example, being able to pull lands and make sure we hit our land drops. Nashi could be very, very useful. However, he is only a 3/2 for 3, and he is not evasive. Also, in his casting cost, he does have 2 black. So it's tricky in a 3-color deck to make sure that we can make that happen. The ninjutsu cost is 4 as well, so that's the other alternative, which is 3 and 1 black, so it's not too bad. But it's an interesting card, and to be honest, I was considering putting Nashi in the main deck, and I decided to go for the sideboard first, test it out a little bit, and if it comes in clutch in a few games, and if there are any interactions that I'm not aware of, I may pull it into the main. But for right now, we got 3 in the side. We also have 2 Meathook Massacres. If we're going up against aggro, we need Meathook Massacre. It's really that simple. We generally don't want to be meathooking our own board. That's problematic, but one of the cool things about ninjas is they protect themselves in a way by bouncing back to your hand. So for example, if we have a Spring-Leaf Avenger on the field, we could attack with it. If it goes unblocked, we could actually use a Silencer or a Kappa Tech-Wrecker to bounce it back to our hand before we hit a Meathook. Although Spring-Leaf Avenger maybe is not the best example because it'll survive a lot of Meathooks with that 5 toughness, which is good. But in any event, you can do interesting shenanigans by balancing out what's on the board versus what's in your hand in a way with ninjas that you can't do with other cards and other creatures. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, so that's the deck. Let's run this thing out into the ladder and see what we can do with it. This is going to be standard best of 3. This deck is completely standard legal. No alchemy cards, not historic. Standard's where it's at. Thank you so much for checking out the video, and thank you for making it this far in. I appreciate you. If you would like to support the channel, best way to do that is to click that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you can see when upcoming videos are released. Otherwise, just hit a like and leave a comment. It means the world, and it really helps feed the algorithm, helps out so much. So thank you so much. Let's get to the gameplay. All right, so we have won the coin flip. We do get an opportunity to play first, which is great. This is not a keep. It's a single land hand. No bueno, not loving it. This is also, well, it's a double land hand, but both are black, which is not ideal either. I think I want to keep the Spring-Leaf Avenger. I think I'm going to let the Kappa Tech-Wrecker go, but I am going to keep this. Throw the Hive, the Eye Tyrant on 1 into an Eyetwitch in the hopes that the Eyetwitch dies so we can grab an Environmental Sciences out of the sideboard and get some blue mana in here. All right, let's give this a go. All right, and we are in Platinum 1. Platinum Tier 1 is where we are right now. Hoping to get to Diamond. I think that'd be pretty slick. We're a couple of wins away, but anything's possible. And this ninja deck is pretty great, actually. As of this recording, as of this moment, it actually has an 80% win rate. It's 8-2. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's 8-2 on the ladder for my experience. So I think it's pretty darn nice. This is not an ideal hand. Our opponent is taking their sweet time. I've noticed that seems to be happening a lot these days. I don't know if it's a mobile thing, or I don't know if people are just queuing up and then going to the bathroom or what, but it happens. It's mildly frustrating, but not the end of the world. They also could have been considering their mulligan situation, which is, it's easy to get caught up in that. Also, fun fact, you can actually click these trees and they kind of freak out on you, which is nice. I enjoy that. All right, Boseiju Who Endures. We're definitely playing that as a land. Unfortunately, it is not a blue land, but we do have access to green, so that's not nothing. All right, Eyetwitch, I choose you. So our opponent's running Jawari Disruption, snow-covered islands. That could mean a number of things. There's the blue mana we're looking for. Yeah, all right, let's go. First things first, let's go ahead and swing. I'm not going to ninja that in. We're just going to deal one real quick. Let's throw the Thousand Face Ninja. Thousand Face Shadow, that is. Sorry. It's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, as far as which is better, the Shadow or the Silver Fur Master. My thought with this pulling the Shadow here is it's going to be evasive, and it's more likely to become the Spring-Leaf Avenger, which is pretty nice. All right. All right. And so we got another blue source. I'm hoping they block the Eyetwitch here, but they probably will not. They'll probably block the Shadow. If they block anything at all, they might choose not to. Yeah, okay, they did block the Shadow. Mildly problematic, but not the end of the world. Spring-Leaf Avenger is going to come in place the Eyetwitch. And we're going to be able to pull the Thousand Face Shadow. We should be able to pull the Thousand Face Shadow back to hand. Unless they do some bounce shenanigans here with the adversary. Because what's going to happen is the Shadow's going to die. It's going to trade with the adversary. However, the Spring-Leaf Avenger is going to trigger and allow us to pull a permanent from our graveyard to our hand. So the Shadow's coming right back to hand. You'll love to see it. All right. Well, that's a big 6/5. Yeah, the Spring-Leaf Avenger is pretty sweet. All right. So this... We had kind of a sketchy start, but we drew some really good cards, and we've gotten there in the end. This is looking good. I don't love the fact that they swung there. That tells me they have some ideas here, and they have an Otawara of their own. Essence Capture on the Silver Fur Master, mildly problematic, not the end of the world. So the Eyetwitch here, because I really want to turn that Eyetwitch into a Thousand Face Shadow on the attack. Geistlight Snare, ooh. All right, getting a little saucy here. You're still on a 2-turn clock, Home Slice. Let's do this thing. Can't play either of them. I'm gonna grab the Eyetwitch here. Gotta get those twitchy eyes. All right, I'm just gonna play out the Thousand Face Shadow. Hope we draw into another ninja. Cemetery Illuminator. Ooh, 2/3 flyer. That could be a problem. All right. They are 1 mana shy of being able to activate the Ascended Spirit and buff it up to a 4/4, all the same. So if we do attack with the Spring-Leaf Avenger, they could double block. No, they're choosing to attack. That's interesting choice. Interesting choice. Silencer. That'll do. That will do. All right. I think it's time for the Hive, Eye Tyrant. Does that make any sense? Not really, but do I stand by it anyway? Yeah, I guess. All right, Spectral Adversary can go, I guess. All right, so they have to block the Spring-Leaf Avenger here, or they're just dead, unless they have a Fading Hope or something like that in hand. They're down to 1 card. Boom. And we throw the Eyetwitch for good measure. Sick. All right, I'm really jazzed about the draws that we got this turn. Jawari Disruption from Eyetwitch, sure, fair enough. And they keep attacking. I don't fully understand that. So at this point, they could buff it up, but yeah. Yeah, the Ascended Spirit, they really needed to keep that back to block. But alas, they did not. All right, so they are running a lot of counterspells, so I'm going to pull in the Duress. Meat Massacre is kind of a meh Could be fine, could be not. Nashi, I don't think is going to give us much value in this particular matchup, so I'm going to leave it in the side. But yeah, I'm going to pull in the Duresses for sure. I'm going to go down to 2 Kappa Techs, 2 Silencers, and Biting Palm Ninja's not going anywhere. I definitely want that. Shizuki's going to draw his cards. I'll drop a Lantern Bearer because they're running a lot of flyers. All right, let's give this a shot. All right, here we go. Sideboarding is still a part of my game that I'm trying to improve upon. It's one of those things that I want to get better at. All 3 colors represented. We got ninjas. We got little guys. This is a snap keep. Let's go. But yeah, sideboarding is a weakness in my game that I'm trying to improve upon. I think it just needs to get better. Delver. And I think I'm getting there. You know, I got some work to do, but I'm getting there in the end. Delver flips with a Spell Pierce. Okay. Mildly problematic, but not the end of the world. But our opponent is very aggressive. They really want to play this tempo game. Now, I know they have the Spell Pierce in hand. I don't know if they have any other counters. Fun fact, though. Ninjutsu is an activated ability, not a spell. I'm going to discard the Lantern Bearer. Dokuchi Silencer is going to kill the Insectile Aberration. Boom, baby. And we discarded the Lantern Bearer so we can give the Silencer +1/+1 and flying next turn. And if they play out a ground creature, like an Ascended Spirit or something like that, although, let's be honest, the Lantern Bearer is going to get Spell Pierced. Or maybe not. Maybe not. All right, I'm going to go ahead and discard the Fang of Shigeki. Kill the Stowaway. Silencer getting some work done. Now, we are giving up cards in hand every time we're swinging here. Every time we're taking advantage of that. However, we are eliminating their ability to create a board state, which is beautiful. I love that. Here comes the Ascended Spirit. They're also stuck on 2 lands, which, to be honest, I really don't like seeing. Like, I don't want to win like that. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, and I will take it. I am not too good for that. Gonna come down to green. Discarding the Eyetwitch. Yeah, Silencer just is MVP of this game so far. I'm going to go ahead and just play out the Kappa Tech-Wrecker. Go wide a little bit. Because our opponent our opponent's in mono blue, so the chances of them having some kind of board wipe is not likely. Ooh, Dream Shackle Geist is actually a really cool card. Capable of producing some really brutal effects. Pinning down my Dokuchi Silencer in a big bad way. However, Spring-Leaf Avenger is about to pop in. Let's go. It's going to come in place of the Eyetwitch. And it's going to pull up another Eyetwitch. And the Dream Shackle Geist is a spirit creature token. It is not an artifact or enchantment. Therefore, we will not be doing anything with that. Here comes another Dream Shackle Geist. They have the ability to pin something down by tapping it and also freezing it, so it doesn't untap during the next turn. Or they can just double pin down the Silencer and the Spring-Leaf Avenger. Pretty good stuff. Good stuff by our opponent. Ooh, but here we go. I think we activate the Hive of the Eye Tyrant here so we can get... Yeah, and that's game. Got him. Let's move on to the next one. Win the coin flip. We get to play first. I'm seeing a lot of lands. Kappa Tech-Wrecker, Lantern Bearer. Yeah, I'll keep this. I'll keep this and hope we draw into some gas. But at the end of the day, we're not going to get mana screwed. That's for sure. We may get flooded, but we're not going to get mana screwed. All right. So we have Lantern Bearer on 1 as long as we play Otawara, the Soaring Sky, which I for sure want to do. So here goes Lantern Bearer. And next turn, I want to play the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, which is not going to give us access to the Kappa Tech-Wrecker. Just kidding. All right, so I'm playing out the green into the Kappa Tech-Wrecker because I really want to block that Usher of the Fallen. So the mono white aggro deck is very, very good, but 1/3 Death Touchers are a really good way to step in front of that. So that's one of the things that makes the Kappa Tech-Wrecker so great, is that it's a wonderful blocker as well as attacker that's capable of busting up enchantments and artifacts. Absolutely fantastic. Thalia, it's mildly problematic, but not the end of the world. Okay, well, I'm going to throw out the Hive of the Eye Tyrant now. And Lantern Bearer is just going to keep on swinging for the moment. This Barkchannel Pathway is going to come in as a blue source, so we have access to the Thousand Face Shadow. Ninjaing in. Fearless Fledgling. Okay, that can get... that's an interesting choice, actually. Landfall, it grows, and it has flying only on their turn, however. Ooh, here we go. Now we're talking. All right. All right, Lantern Bearer swinging in. Kappa Tech-Wrecker is going to continue to hold the line, as it were. Spring-Leaf Avenger. Popping up. Let's go. Boom. All right, so that's nice little 6 damage. So the interesting thing about the Kappa Tech-Wrecker at this point, you can block Thalia or the Usher perfectly fine. The Fledgling is going to be a little bit of a problem for us. Sun Gold Sentinel also has an opportunity to hate on the graveyard if our Lantern Bearer were to hit it, which is mildly problematic, but not the end of the world. Here comes Eyetwitch. Got to get those twitchy eyes. So I'm going to play out the Lantern Bearer and the Eyetwitch. I'm going to hold the Thousand Face Shadow back, and the Spring-Leaf Avenger is going in. They could do some multi-blocks to get rid of it, or they could just sacrifice the Usher and chump it, because otherwise that's a 2-turn clock. I like it when my opponents are on 2-turn clocks. Feels good. Feels real good. All right, so the Fearless Fledgling can come in. Lantern Bearer is going to take one for the team. Usher the Fallen coming down. All right. We're in a really good position here. So Fearless Fledgling swings in. Lantern Bearer blocks. Goes to the graveyard. They have an opportunity to attack with the Sun Gold Sentinel as well if they wanted. Actually, the Sun Gold Sentinel should probably attack too if they're smart. I mean, not saying that they wouldn't be smart regardless. I'm just saying the Sun Gold Sentinel could swing in, threaten the Kappa Tech-Wrecker, or deal 3 damage. But they choose to keep it back to block. Fair enough. Yeah, I certainly don't mean to imply that my opponent is not smart. That was not what I was going for. 7/6 flyer. Seems decent. Seems decent. Boom, to the face. All right, so we got him on a 1-turn clock. I'll just throw the Thousand Face Shadow so we have another blocker, because it's not... I shouldn't need it for anything else, unless they're sitting on a board wipe, but because they have committed so strongly to the board in the aggro fashion, I'll be surprised if they decide to do that. So think about another Thalia. Okay, that doesn't really do anything for him. Interestingly enough, so Thalia causes non-creature spells to cost 1 more. All of our cards are creatures with abilities, which is nice. So let's get... I think Nashi might be an interesting choice here. Duress doesn't fit. Let's get another Kappa Tech-Wrecker, though. That is for sure coming in. Fang of Shigeki is also really important here on defense. You can go down to... Well... This is a tough call. So we could lose a Dokuchi Silencer, go down to 2 of those in favor of the 4 Kappa Tech-Wreckers. We also pulled Nashi in. You know what? Let's let the Silencer go. We also... The double meat hooks, I think, are pretty important. I'm going to take the meat hooks in place of Kaito. All right, let's give this a shot. I still like the Biting Palm Ninja because, if nothing else, it's a 3/3 body, which is pretty legit. All right, let's try it out. Let's see what we can do after sideboards here. So that was game 1. We took game 1 down. You love to see it. Here we are going into game 2. Opponent's going to be on the play. This would be better if we had a black mana source, but the fact that we have 3 Death Touchers in hand and the mana to cast all 3 of them, good enough for me. It'll work. It'll absolutely work. And Lantern Bearer, I'm not mad at that. Let's go Fang. And next turn we can go Fang, Lantern Bearer. Or Kappa Tech, depending on what they play. Thalia, Kappa Tech it is. Alright. Yeah, the Kappa Tech-Wrecker having 3 toughness to deal with Thalia's first strike is really important. Because Thalia can deal, can deal 2 on the first strike. The fact that the Tech-Wrecker survives that is a big darn deal. Ambitious Farmhand, making sure they hit the 3rd land drop. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm hoping we draw into a black mana source. That would be ideal here. Yeah, not ideal, but better than nothing, I suppose. Let's go blue here. Fang of Shigeki. And Lantern Bearer. Yeah. And we hold the line. Clarion Spirit. Okay, good card. It's going to allow them to create an Air Force, which they desperately need here. Alright, now we need some black mana. Come on, black mana. You're not black mana. And that 1/1 flyer they have is definitely problematic. Elite Spellbinder going after the hand. This is going to be a huge problem because once the card has been stripped from my hand with Elite Spellbinder, I don't believe we're able to ninjutsu it. I could be mistaken on that, but here we have a handful of ninjas, and they're going to take the Spring-Leaf Avenger. That is correct. Yeah, because the card is in exile, no longer in our hand. Oh, which is a real shame. Because that would have done it right there. We would have had it. Alas, it is not to be. So at this point, we need to top deck a Meat Hook Massacre. We pulled in 3 from the sideboard, or 2 from the sideboard. So hopefully we can take advantage of those. Sorry, yeah, 2 from the sideboard. Skyclave Apparition, probably going after the flyer here. Or the Kappa Tech-Wrecker. Either of those would be a fine hit for that. Well, so we need a Meat Hook Massacre, but we need to be able to cast it. So I guess it actually wouldn't be that great on its own. Another Lantern Bearer. You're also not helpful. So the lack of black mana is really messing us up here, and our opponent was able to set up nicely. And mono white is very powerful right now. So if this ends up going to game 3, so be it. Kappa Tech-Wrecker definitely the MVP on our side. Adeline, that might be a little too much for us. Swing with the Elite Spellbinder. Lantern Bearer is definitely going to step in front of that. And the Kappa Tech-Wrecker is going to be able to deal with that 1/1 nicely. Cool. Well, it's mana, but it's not the mana I wanted. You are not what I need. Alright, I'm going to put this on one of the Fangs. Start swinging. Ganjo is gonna kill it. Bummer, yo. Bummer, yo. Alright, so we're going to kill a couple people here. Getting rid of the Skyclave Apparition and the Clarion Spirit is nice. Seasoned Cathar, flipping to a 3/3. They're going to be able to boast the Usher. We do get a 1/1 for our trouble. The Kappa Tech, I'm not mad at that. But at this point, we just need black mana. We still need black mana. We are totally sunk without it. These Death Touches are nice, but they only go so far. Yeah, and that Elite Spellbinder can take whatever it wants. These cards are dead to me. There's nothing we can do with them anyway. So this is frustrating. I mean, this is just a color screw. But at the same time, we're also trying to run a 3-color deck in Standard. So it is what it is. I can't really be upset. And to be honest, the Silver Fur Master going over here means very little. We're definitely going to block Adeline. No hesitation there. Going to block the Usher. Kappa Tech's going to get in front of Thalia. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage coming through. Woof. Not happy about that. And one of our Kappa Techs survives, but pretty much everything else bites it. And they have another Thalia. Poo. Well, there's a Black Manosaurus. It took you long enough. Jeez. Silver Fur Master coming down. The Elite Spellbinder alone is going to be enough to kill us here. Yeah, we're just dead. Yeah, we just got stuck on the Black Mana, so we weren't able to engage any of our threats. That's frustrating. That was a frustrating game, but what you gonna do? I'm gonna cry about it. I still think we aren't in a bad spot. We just didn't hit our land right, so I don't feel the need to modify it for the sideboard. All right, we're definitely playing first because that makes a huge difference. All right, we've got everything but blue mana now. But we have the Eyetwitch, which is the cheap interaction. Dokuchi Silencer and the Spring-Leaf Avenger are teed up, ready to go. So drawing into a blue mana source for the Silver Fermentor is ideal, but if we don't hit it, it's fine. The Silencer and the Spring-Leaf Avenger will be able to do great work for us. Booyah, never didn't have it. That's a blue mana source into a Silver Fermentor. Just chilling. Being a Silver Fermentor. And one of the cool things about a turn 2 Silver Fermentor, how many more times can I say that before it loses all meaning, is that means a turn 3 Spring-Leaf Avenger. Which is pretty darn cool, if you ask me. So here we go. Eyetwitch swinging in. Avenger. Avenging. Boom, baby. A turn 3 7/6 Spring-Leaf Avenger. Woof. All I can say to that. Brugathar is going to get rid of that Spring-Leaf Avenger without any hesitation. With good reason. Yeah, it really, yeah, that's the right answer. All right, and it sounds like the dryer's off balance, so sorry about that. All right, we're going to throw the Eyetwitch. Gotta throw them twitchy eyes. I'm going to keep the Silencer back. All right. Yeah, sorry for that additional noise, everybody. So we have Clarion Spirit, Brutal Cathar, Thalia, Fearless Fledgling. Fearless Fledgling is interesting tech. I do like that. That flyer is going to be a huge problem because that means our Eyetwitch is not going to be uncontested, which is a real issue. We need to be able to swing in with that Eyetwitch. We could just hardcast the Spring-Leaf Avenger and just have it, which is nothing. We can also activate the Hive of the Eye Tyrant to see if we can bust up some of these blockers. Let's go. And yes, I'm attacking with the Silver Fermentor. It is a calculated risk. All right, we get rid of the one flyer. I want to get rid of, and the Master is going to get rid of the Clarion Spirit. We're going to deal 3 with the Hive. This is going to give us access to Environmental Sciences. Or we could use an Intro to Annihilation and get rid of the Cathar. Let's do that. It is going to get them a card in their hand. But if they're able to double spell, this thing's going to flip, and that's going to be annoying. Although we don't have any permanents for them to exile right now, so it's all good. I do like the tech of the Fearless Fledgling. It's interesting. It's just interesting. We are going to need one more land. Ninja, I'm cool with that. Alright, Silencer's coming down as a blocker. Brutal Cathar flips. They're going to probably get the Fang. Probably take out the Fang. Intro to Annihilation wasn't the right call. I should have grabbed Environmental Sciences. Oh well. These things happen. That is an ambitious farmhand. Fortunately, they do not have Coven at the moment. Although Fearless Fledgling might change that in a moment here. Actually, have they played their land for turn? I don't think they have. Never mind, now they have Coven. And the ability to flip that farmhand. This is problematic. I think we may lose here. 6, 7, 8. The blocks, come on in. Ow, my face. Ow, my face. Well, I'm going to pop this Catharsis so we can get some blockers, but if they hit their land drop and the Fearless Fledglings lift off, this isn't going to be enough. So the Gold Sentinel going after the graveyard. I don't love that. Yeah, Silvery Fur Master, because our Spring-Leaf Avenger could theoretically have pulled those out. Gavany Dawnguard, also not bad. Usher, Boo. Boo earns. Yeah, we're dead. Dang it! Oh, that was a good game, though. That was a good match. Yeah, we don't have any flying blockers, so they just need to attack with the Fledglings. I don't know what they're waiting for. Gonna block there, but it's a moral victory and an otherwise defeat. Yeah. Doggone it. All right, it's all good. It's all good. We got at least one more match to go. So let's see what we can do. So the opponent is going to be going first. Don't love that, but it is what it is. And that will be what it is. I think this is keepable. I don't love keeping two landers generally, but we got some color representation. We can also throw out Takenuma to play the Eyetwitch on our turn 1. That way we don't have to commit the pathway until we've seen at least two cards. So we know if we're going to draw into another Mana Source. Hopefully. You know, so we'll draw 2. They had to mull to 6. Okay. It's funny when I see my opponent mull, it actually makes me nervous because like, oh, they actually know what they're doing. All right, play it out. Twitchy eyes. Let's go. Yeah, and Takenuma is in here because it's basically a free way to draw cards late in the game, and milling us can also fuel our Avengers nicely. So it's just a cool card. It draws us some cards and it comes into play untapped. So we have 2 in the deck because there's no reason not to really. Oh, another pathway. Dope. That's actually really cool. I'll take it. I'll take that all day, day. Let's go. Silver Fur Master. Into a Jawari Disruption. Show me Jawari Disruption. I mean, don't actually let it resolve. That'd be nice, but I should have attacked first. I hate it when I'm right. All right. There's that Jawari Disruption. Into Expressive Iteration. Sure. Sure. The reason that I played it out there was I was really hoping for that 7/6 turn 3 Avenger, because that is like it is just straight gasoline. It's gasoline, it's cash money, it rips, it rocks, whatever you want to say. Yeah, it's straight cash money. Lantern Barar, Fang of Shigeki. I should probably, as a general rule, be attacking before I'm playing these things out, but it's this bad habit that I have of playing my pre-combat main phase. A Reckoner, Buster of Banks. Another Lantern Barar. Wants Lantern Bearer for the Avenger. Let's see. What can they have here? They're holding priority because the Bank Buster can draw a card. If there's an counter spell, it's not going to work here because this is an activated ability. Yeah, they're going to draw a card off Bank Buster and take 8 damage. Cool. I'll take it. And we get to draw the Silver Fur Master back to our hand. Sounds good. Let's go. Actually, with the silver, if we just play out the Silver Fur Master pre-combat, we just win. Or actually, no. We ninjutsu it in on the Eyetwitch is the better way to do it. I love how these new Neon Dynasty ninjas have ninjutsu costs and casting costs that are identical. I think that is so cool. If you remember from Betrayers of Kamigawa, when they first introduced ninjas, they usually had a higher casting cost than a ninjutsu cost. Field trip. Okay. What you gonna learn up, buddy? What you gonna learn? You gonna learn today. Sorry. Into environmental sciences. Ooh, they're tapping out. That means we got a clean shot at them next turn. Let's go. Let's take that clean shot. It goes a little something like this. If my math serves, this is lethal. My math often doesn't serve because the Fang is a ninja. Oh, my math did not serve. Whoops. Had I played out the ninja and attacked with the Eyetwitch as well, that would have been lethal. But I was being overly cautious and not good at the game. If they have any kind of board wipe here, like a burn down the house, battle of frost and fire, yeah, that's bad. Although the Avenger survives, so that's nice. I like that. I like that a lot, as a matter of fact. They may have a follow up here, though. I'm gonna have expanded anatomy. I'm gonna go all in on this Avenger. Let's do it. Shigeki. Visionary. Okay, cool. Lanterns lift. Boop. Pick it up. Got him. All right. That was game 1 in the books. Thank you, Mean Bob. Well played. Let's go on to game 2. Duress is probably, again, cash money, if you will. Mire, I don't think is going to be doing too much for us here. Nashi could be interesting, but I'm not sure. Let's take the Dokuchi Silencers out in favor of Duress. I think that's going to be where it's at. I'm comfortable with 3 Kappa Techs. Let's give this a shot. Let's try it out. Let's see what we can do. I'm trying to get comfortable sideboarding. I'm trying to sideboard quickly and trying to get a feel for how it functions and how it works and how it impacts the games. I was pretty happy with. I mean, we were able to set our pace and play our game, and it worked really nicely. I'm pretty jazzed about the double pathways. I think we keep this or the Barkchannel Pathway down as the Tidechannel Pathway and play out a Lantern Bearer. I was considering Thousand Face Ninja. That would have been fine too. Thousand Face Shadow, I should say. This is going to come down to the Murkwater Pathway, the black side, so that we have access to Dimir colors. Spikefield Hazard on the Lantern Bearer. Unfortunately for us, that does exile. Mildly problematic, but not the end of the world. Silver Fur Master, what up, dog? Except you're a rat, not a dog. But you know what? I would like to play you out. Cool. Ninjutsu abilities are now cheaper. Biting Palm Ninja has Ninjutsu 2, which is pretty fantastic. Like the sound of that. Thousand Fish and Avenger both have Ninjutsu 3. Just kidding. They're back to Ninjutsu 4. Boseiju, what up, dog? Get out here. Let's go. You know what? I'm actually just going to cast out the Biting Palm Ninja because it has that menace counter on it. So it's very evasive already. So if our opponent has more removal, so be it. They have more removal. If not, if we draw into a land, we can attack with the Biting Palm Ninja and then turn it into the Spring-Leaf Avenger, grab back the Silver Fur Master. Life is good. Also, I gotta say, you may have noticed I've switched to, and this is probably pretty late to be saying this in the video, but I switched from best of 1 to best of 3, and I did that recently because I have been a little frustrated with the best of 1 play experience these days. I haven't been enjoying it as much, and in an attempt to kind of rejuvenate my appreciation for the game and try to get me back into it, I switched. I made the switch to best of 3, and I gotta say it's been an absolute blast. And I've actually been playing better in best of 3, and I don't know if I think it's the meta is completely different, and it's a meta that I'm a little more comfortable in. It's more mid-rangey. It's a little more the gameplay is a little slower, And so my weird janky brews have an opportunity to breathe a little bit, unlike in the best of one queue, where it's either hardcore lockout control or balls to the walls turn through your dead aggro. At least that's been my experience. That's in that queue. So I'm enjoying a nice little change of pace. It's really nice. Lantern Bear. I choose you. Oh, snap. All right, we're going to deal a little less damage here, but we're going to attack their hand. Yes! All right. So I was going to strip that mascot exhibition out of their hand. They saw it. They didn't. They were not having it. So they've seen enough. They were peacing out. And there we go, everybody. That is the Ninja Turtles deck. I gotta say, I actually really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Kappa Tech-Wrecker's a house, and the Silver Fur Master. I mean, Master Splinter and I think it's Donatello in my opinion, because Donatello does machines. He doesn't break machines, but he does machines. But that's the Ninja Turtles deck. Sultai Ninjas, very powerful, very solid. The Spring-Leaf Avenger especially is a card that just cannot be denied. Thank you for checking out this video, and thank you for making it to the end. It's been an absolute delight. Please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe, hit the thumbs up, all that jazz. You know, do the things, the YouTube things. You know what's up. If you watch YouTube, you're used to creators asking you about all that stuff, and well, it helps me too. So I'd appreciate it. In any event, I'll catch you on the next one. And if you want, I also stream on Twitch in the mornings during the week, Monday through Friday, starting at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I stream at twitch.tv/hamhawks42, and you actually can challenge me to build decks for channel points, which is a currency that you accrue just by hanging out and being part of the channel. So I'd love to see you out there if you're available. If not, I'll catch you on the next one here. And again, thank you. Have a wonderful day. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.